After a truly amazing 6 months traveling Vietnam, it was finally time to pack our bags and head off to the next country on our bucket list. After jumping through some hoops and a few unexpected roadblocks, we were finally boarding a ferry to head off to a beautiful tropical island located in an archipelago of up to 104 islands depending on the height of the tide. An oasis surrounded by blue and green crystal clear waters, white sands, and some of the freakiest and most aggressive monkeys we've ever met in our life. A place where the weather is excellent, pretty much year-round. Averaging 30 degrees Celsius, we were quite prepared to go from being very pasty white from being in rainy season in Da Nang to crispy as a French fry in 2 days or less. And this amazing place we're talking about is not only beautiful, but it is also a duty-free port. We are talking about the tropical island of Langkawi, Malaysia. Home to the mysterious dusty leaf monkey, the longest curved sky bridge in the world, and the home of Gunung Raya at 881 meters, the highest mountain in Langkawi. Langkawi Island is a location you absolutely must put on your bucket list if you're coming to Malaysia. But before we start this video series of Malaysia, Rebecca and I felt it's time that we share something personal with you as we reach the 1,000 subscriber milestone on this channel. As we've traveled all these beautiful Southeast Asian countries and saw these amazing destinations, there's always been one common denominator between every place we've been, and that is the amount of animal cruelty, suffering and abuse that we see on a daily basis. From the starvation and neglect of the Bali dogs. This poor fella we tried to feed. He was lying down trying to die. I left a handful of food and a pack of water for him. But he can't hardly move. He's disoriented. He got bugs bored a hole inside of his butt and are living in him, and he's trying to get him out. The best thing that can happen to him is if a truck comes by and doesn't see him, and for his sake I hope that happens, because it's what a way to live. My God. The caged and abused animals of Vietnam. And the beating, slavery, and downright animal cruelty of the horses of the Gili Islands in Indonesia.
That f***ing idiot right there just slapped the horse in the f***ing face just because he couldn't back up with a trailer load of f***ing concrete. F***ing idiot. You know what I mean? This is Indonesia. Look at the f***ing load on this little tiny horse.
You see, Rebecca and I are animal lovers to the core. We have both had our own animals and would rather give our own food to a pet than eat it ourselves. So obviously there is nothing that bothers us more than seeing an animal suffer with no way out. So this video is going to be a little different than the videos we generally post about all these lovely places that we travel to, but I hope you stick around for this one, because if there was ever a video that we wish to go viral on our channel, this is the one. This will be the most important video we have ever posted on this channel, and likely will ever post. Unfortunately, Rebecca is not joining me this morning because she's not feeling well, so I'm going to speak on her behalf as well. So from Rebecca and I, we give you our sincerest thank you in advance.
So we had a rough morning this morning. Of all the stray dogs and all the stray cats you see down here. One that hit me hard this morning. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we found one this morning by our Airbnb. We stopped and gave him some treats. And you could see he was just done. Itchy, cut on his paw, limping. Take 3. Yeah, he's limping and scratching. He has scabs and blood all over his back everywhere. And he just gives you puppy eyes, and he just wants to go with you. He's done. There's a lot more to Bali than tourists. A lot you don't see. And as we drove away, he started following us. We gave him whatever treats we had left in one bag, and we went down to the cafe to get our breakfast. So we're gonna order him a breakfast too. He's getting eggs and bacon today. So we found these 3 little stray, abandoned puppies. Look at this poor little fella. Shivering, malnourished, covered in fleas, abandoned by the mom, no mom around. And nothing to eat, nothing to drink. And this is their living conditions. They're here inside of a shack. This shack is a gravel and dirt pit. And they're lying down in this loose volcanic dust dirt, sleeping on a plastic brim bag. All 3 of them are huddled up in here. The other one's got a little bump in the sand that he sleeps in. And they're all fighting for food, trying to stay alive. So we gave them all the water we had and a full bag of treats, and then we went to the store and picked up a whole bag of puppy food, and we left half the bag here, and we're going to stop by again tomorrow because we got to drive by the same road. So if you guys are coming to Indonesia and you don't know what to bring with you, don't bring anything for yourself. Bring dog food and dog treats and things to give to the puppies, because they are everywhere, and this is the part of Bali you don't see. Don't forget, when you're on vacation, don't just look after taking care of yourself. Some of us need a lot more, don't we, buddies? He's a good boy. And here's the other little guy. Come out of the road, buddy. They just sit and scratch as they're infested with fleas and ear mites and probably ticks, and this is their life. This poor little fella probably won't make it to his first birthday. Even the ones that don't look homeless probably are. This one looks fairly healthy, but as soon as I put the food down, she mowed into it and she was afraid to come near me, so she's likely homeless as well. He was so starving, he's maybe a couple of weeks old at most. Look at his little face. Maybe a couple of weeks old, out on the road, trying to scrape some dirt off the road to eat. I don't even know what it was. So we stopped and gave him 2 big handfuls of puppy food, and he ate it so fast he was biting my hand and everything, trying to shovel it down his throat. He didn't even chew. And then we gave him a pack of soft gravy puppy food, and he ate that in 2 seconds, and now his poor little belly is all swelled up because he's not used to food. And now he's just following us around.
I can't, John. What the hell are we gonna do? I can't.
We can.
Look at him. He's so cute.
You guys come to Bali, don't bring stuff for yourself.
Or just don't come to Bali. This is too depressing.
Bring dog food. No, don't say that, because then who else is going to help them? Because obviously they're not getting the help.
Look at his chubby belly.
Here. Yeah.
Look at his belly.
He's all swelled out now. He's so friendly. Like he's little sharp puppy teeth. He's literally biting us because he smells the food, and he's just trying to get something to eat. What a fucking scene. He's a good boy.
He's so sweet.
No nerves. Yeah, end of his tail is already bald from whatever he's got, and it's only been a couple of weeks since he was born, I'd say. Yeah, that's not good. Story and life of the poor fucking horses here. Load of bricks over and over from dawn till dark, all day long. And if if you're lucky enough to not be a big horse, then you get to haul the cart and pull lazy fucking tourists around. It seems it doesn't matter what animal it is, cats, dogs, horses. They're all just suffering and neglected here. That's crazy. We have had some really cool experiences, a lot of life experiences, and get to see the dark sides of a place that only YouTube would show the bright side. We're seeing all sides, and that's what we wanted. We want to see what the internet doesn't show you, which is the true identity of a place. And this place has got a background, I tell you that. It's beautiful and there's lots of nice things to do, but then you see stuff like this. So yeah, it's a different world here. We like our trip so far, aside from all those things, but we don't know if we'll be back. You kind of got to see it for yourself. Don't trust YouTube. You're not going to see the true side unless you actually come here. So since being in Southeast Asia, the most common thing we've found between all the countries we've been to, I'm calling it the common denominator of Southeast Asia, is the amount of animal suffering and animal abuse we see in every country we go to, every town we visit, every city we see, even out in the countryside. No matter where we go, we can't seem to find a place where there isn't stray animals starving and dying on the road, damn near everywhere. And we've been quite a few places now over the course of 3/4 of a year. So what I'm doing now, the reason I'm out walking in the dark here in the jungle, you guys can hear all the cicadas and crickets and everything else and the frogs. I'm going to visit a friend of ours that we've found here in Malaysia. We drove past one day and it's a tiny little dog that's built like a Chihuahua but a little taller, so he's obviously crossbreed mixed with something. He's very tiny. Literal skin over bones. You can see every one of his ribs, his whole spine, all of his bones. He has no meat on him at all. Tail is pretty much permanently tucked between his legs. Poor dog is scared shitless and he won't go near anyone. He's scared when cars drive by. He's scared when people talk to him. If you try to get within about 50 feet, he turns and bolts the other way and hides, goes to his safe places in behind the house. So anyway, there's an abandoned building where he's been living behind. So every single night for the last week, Rebecca and I stop down to the abandoned building and bring him a bag of dog food and fill up a water bottle for him. And the last couple of nights we got a treat for him. We're bringing him some peanut butter. So there's one thing you can always find around Southeast Asia, and that's garbage and plastic and Tupperware containers. So we just grabbed a couple that we found along the way, filled one up with food, one up with water, and we take a scoop of peanut butter and stick to the lid. So I think last night is the first time he's ever experienced peanut butter, ever. So I said to Rebecca, I'm going to separate the food and peanut butter in case he doesn't like it, but he liked it. About 5 seconds after he walked up to his food, he turned and came back and you could see him licking his tongue. He's like, blah, 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 trying to get peanut butter off the roof of his mouth. It was hilarious. He loved it, but he couldn't understand why it was sticking his mouth together. So anyways, we started going back twice a day. We feed him in the morning now, we feed him at night. Sometimes we stop and pick up a pack of soft dog food, mix in there with some gravy. Our goal is to just try to fatten him up, get some healthy meat on him, because the poor thing is bones, he's starving. So I'm just approaching the building here now, and I'm going to try to get a shot of him for you guys, but I can't get within, like I said, about 50 feet or he bolts. Even after a week of feeding him and seeing us and hearing our voices every day, he is still scared shitless of it. So I'm going to try to sneak over there and put some food in and see can we get a shot for you. So this is where he lives. He sleeps on this pile of leaves, which is completely infested in ants and ticks. That's where he sleeps every night. There was an old pillow here which was completely infested. So we smacked the pillow around and got all the dirt off it and got the bugs out of it. But obviously within 5 minutes it's probably crawling again. But that's where he spends his nights, sleeping right there. We managed to find some styrofoam. Looks like he hasn't been drinking his water. I filled it up this morning and it's still 3/4 full, but he ate all the food, so that's good. And we always stick around to make sure it's him eating it and not another dog stealing it. We walk away and wait for him to come by, and then we see him eating it so we know who's getting the food. But anyways, I'm gonna top up his food. Okay, so we get his food topped up. We got some peanut butter in there for him. We cleaned out his water dish. Gonna fill that up for him. And he hasn't came back. He doesn't go far though. He runs across the bushes right here, and he only hides inside the fence and waits for me to leave. He stays pretty much in earshot distance, so he can hear us and he can see us, but he won't let us get close. So I just want to really quickly show you his living conditions. This is where he stays, in behind this abandoned building. He hangs out in here somewhere. There's a big tub of plastic back there, kind of like these ones, and he just hides behind it and waits for me to go. Or sometimes he gets in here, but this is where he lives. There's no lights or anything here. He just hides in the bushes and the weeds out back. See if he came back and grabbed some food while I wasn't looking. No, so I hide his food in behind here, so he's got a bit of a safe place from the traffic with a little escape route in the back. But he's not going to come around while I'm here. There he is. Hi, buddy. You see his eyes? Just see him for a split second. Hi, buddy. Come on out. It's okay. We're just feeding you. No, he's not going to come out. You guys could see his eye glow there for a second. He was peeking, watching me through the fence, but as soon as I got within 10 feet, which is a big improvement, he let me get within 10 feet with a fence between us today. That's actually the closest we've got yet after a week, so hopefully after a month or maybe 2 months, if we stay here that long, maybe he'll come out, but it's not looking good so far. But we have made 1% increase in progress in seeing him, so. Okay, you can see his eyes back there. Hey buddy, what are you doing? There's his eyes. Yeah, he's not far, but he won't come out. Okay, so I'm at the hiding spot. We walk across the road about 80 or 100 feet away from the building, and it's just far enough that if we stand in the shadow he can't really see us, but we can see him in the lights, so we can watch him go get his food, make sure he gets it, and you know, some of the other dogs around that are actually pretty well fed don't steal it because he really needs it. Okay, he just came out. I don't know if you can see him, but in between the posts here, yeah, he just turned around. You can see his eyes flash. That's him. There he is. Right now I'm about 100 feet away and he can still hear me, and he won't go eat until it gets quiet. Hi buddy. Go eat your peanut butter. Put some fat on you, you need it. Oh, he's a good boy. He's a good boy. No, he's gonna go hide again because I'm still too close. I'm gonna have to back up so I'm at a distance where he can't hear me or smell me in the wind, and hopefully he'll go eat while you guys are watching. Okay, we're playing his game. We're gonna hide in the shadows. There's a huge shadow here from this big tree, and as long as I stand in it, he can't see me. So hopefully he'll come in and eat now. Okay, it worked. He just came out and he went to the food. He doesn't see me in the shadow, so it's working. I'm kind of hiding behind some tree branches here, so I'm gonna let him eat. I don't know if I'll get a shot of him because he's super sketchy today. He's not letting me get close at all, but he's eating, so that's really good. Okay, we got good news and bad news. We're on the way back to the apartment now. We waited him out for a little bit and he didn't eat, which is a good thing because that means he must have ate something. Normally he runs straight to the food, eats it all in like 20 seconds and almost throws up. He eats it so fast, but today he didn't eat it. So, oh, hold on, careful. So one of two things: it's either good news because he has ate something today somewhere and he's not hungry enough to eat it yet, so maybe he'll wait till later when he wakes up in the middle of the night for a snack like us. But I also put a little bit of peanut butter in. If he didn't like the peanut butter yesterday, which would be like the first dog ever to not like peanut butter, but if he didn't like it, maybe that's why he didn't go eat it. I did separate the food from the peanut butter. I put a couple of kibbles on the peanut butter for him just for some crunch and some flavor, but I separated it for the most part. Sorry for a lot of traffic on this road. I'm trying not to get ran over here. There's no sidewalk, no shoulder, as you can see. So I'm just walking in the grass and get a little sketchy. But anyways, he didn't eat, and when I walked out of the shadow and he saw me, he only let me walk 2 or 3 steps, and then he bolted in behind the building again. So he's really on edge today. But we'll go back and feed him again in the morning, because we're going to fatten him up. That is our goal. That little boy's going to be chubby before we leave. He's not going to be starving, at least for a while. But the saddest part of all of it is, when we leave, he's going to be used to having these nice 2 big square meals a day, and all of a sudden the food's going to stop coming. And that kills us. That is the hardest part of this. Something that we make an effort to do in every place we go around Southeast Asia is to find stray animals, feed as many as we can, as many times as we can. Sometimes it's only once if we're passing through, but at least an animal gets a day with a full belly that he haven't maybe had before or ever. So anyway, we do what we can, but I think we're going to start looking at incorporating this into our YouTube channel, where we can have some sort of a donation basis set up, where if people want to help the cause that we're trying to do here, which is not just vacation, but we actually want to help as many animals as we can, because we see the suffering everywhere and it is absolutely inhumane and horrible. So I think we're going to set up some sort of a donation thing on the page, where if people want to help us out with a few cents or $1 or something, every bit of money that we get helps us do things which are now costing us our own money out of pocket, which is buying dog food, buying treats, water, things like that. We're traveling on a very tight budget, so we're already rationing, you know what I mean, to budget for our own meals, because certain places are more expensive. But having a little bit of extra would allow us to be able to buy more dog food, more cat food, more water, you know, little treats for them, things like peanut butter, stuff that dogs over here are probably never going to get in their life. So to be able to give them a little, just a glimmer of happiness, even if it is only for a few days or a month while we're here, everything helps. So we'll keep you guys updated on that, but I think that's going to be a very soon future plan incorporated into our channel, helping these animals. Okay, we're back again to feed our little buddy. A lot of traffic this morning. A little bit of progress this morning. I rolled up beside him on the bike. I drove past him 15 or 20 feet and he didn't get up right away. He realized it was me. I followed him around the corner. See if I can zoom in on him. He's right behind, he's next to this little food dish right here. See his little head sticking out. Hi buddy. He's not ready to come out just yet. But we filled up, dish of food, dish of water again. And he let me sit and talk to him a little bit, and he didn't run off. So every day we're making a little tiny bit of progress. But I gotta watch, because there's a couple of well-fed dogs right across the road that are just waiting for me to leave so they can come steal his food. So I may have to hang out here for a few minutes and make sure he gets it. Because I said we like to help all dogs, but if a dog is well-fed and well taken care of, it's pretty easy to see. But the ones that are neglected and have no home and have nothing, it's also very easy to see. So we want to make sure the ones that actually need the food are the ones getting it. And this little guy needs it bad. He's just standing there watching me, and he's not eating. He's waiting for me to leave, but he's definitely going to eat before the other dogs get to it, because he's hanging around and watching it pick a hawk. But anyways, we'll come back and visit him again tonight. So a little bit more progress every day. Very small, but this dog has probably never had human affection ever. He's likely been kicked and chewed and booed at, because he is absolutely petrified of humans. So any progress is progress for this little guy, because he's likely never had a meal fed to him before. So we're gonna keep trying. Okay, I drove away just a couple of seconds and he came out. He's watching me. He knows it's me bringing him the food, because I talk to him and make sure he sees me drop it off every day. Just like last night, he's not eating yet. When I reviewed the video last night too, I thought he didn't eat for a minute, but when I zoomed in on it, he's actually licking his lips, which means he ate the peanut butter first. So we're confirmed that he does indeed love peanut butter. That's the first thing to go down, even before the water. He's a good boy. Such a sin. Maybe he's not hungry yet. He's gonna hang out on his bed of leaves that I showed you guys, and his old dirty pillow.
We'd love to be able to save them all, but not much we can do, unfortunately.
Oh, that crusty girl. She's so hungry. She is starving. Look at how fast she's eating it. So sad because she's so crusty looking. Like those ears look like they're about to fall off. They look like they're decaying. And that probably is a reason why nobody wants to pet her or give her love or give her food. But she is such a sweet, loving cat.
Krusty, Hubert, Oreo, and Theodore, they're a grain of sand on a beach compared to the amount of suffering animals here that need help. I've never seen anything like it anywhere on the planet that I've ever traveled. And they have no chance. They have no voice. They can't tell anyone that they just need food, or they just need that last little bit of water that you poured down the sink, or that they just need love. They can't say anything. Now, Rebecca and I, we're just two people. Two people that give a shit. We give a lot of shit. We take hours out of every single day away from working on these videos, filming, doing everything else that we have to do. We take away from why we came to this life in the first place, which was to enjoy the hot weather and go see nice beaches and check out attractions and eat local food. And we sacrifice, I would say, 80 to 90% of the time that we could spend on that and the money that we could spend on that, because there's animals that don't get the convenience of eating, and other locals and tourists just drive on by. And I understand in some religions and some cultures certain animals aren't accepted and they're not welcome in the household like they are in others, and you know, everybody's got their way. It is what it is. But that doesn't stop the fact that animals are no different than us. Their literal only difference is they have 4 legs instead of 2, and they can't talk. That's it. They experience the same hunger that we do, the same thirst, the same emotions, the same love. Everything that people feel, they feel, but on a much greater scale. You look at it in the West. Somebody's dog is treated like their child. It is literally their kid. And you would jump through a burning building window to save that furry kid. Every time. I know I would. So it doesn't sit right with us knowing that we're here and we don't have a lot of means to do something, but everybody can do a little something. And if everybody did a little something, it would equal a lot. So we're doing as much of our little something as we possibly can, which is sacrificing eating out multiple meals a day and going on nice excursions and doing things that even helps our channel grow, because we are busy trying to help animals. And now we are trying to grow a channel because we understand that the more reach this channel has, potentially the more help it will help us give to animals. So obviously we are going to definitely keep growing on the channel, but we want to do more. Some of these animals hit us hard to the point that it keeps us up at night, which has made this the hardest video I have ever filmed, and the most times I've ever had to turn the camera on and off to go clear my head and then come back and reshoot. The shit's not easy, but this is their life. When we're hungry, we walk to the fridge and get a snack. When Hubert's hungry, he sits there starving in 35 to 40 degree heat for days, scavenging through garbage in hopes to find a half-eaten moldy piece of bread that somebody threw out instead of laying it on the ground for the dog to eat. We just go to the fridge. Hubert doesn't get that convenience. Neither does Krusty. Krusty hangs out at a gas station. Friggin' gas station. And hopes that somebody will drop some food or something will blow out of the garbage that she can eat. So while we're here, they all eat twice a day. Morning and night, about every 12 hours we try to get there to break it up for them. But when we leave, the food stops coming. Then what? Then what? So Rebecca and I have brainstormed, and we've picked our brains and came up with a way that we can potentially help these animals more. And like everything else in the world, everything revolves around money. Dog food isn't free, water isn't free, treats aren't free. Help for animals is definitely not free. And us traveling on a tight budget, we could go out and spend whatever money we have to help these animals, but then what happens? We run out of money, then we can't help any. What good is that? We could go put out a ton of food every single day and run out of food before the end of the first month, and then what? They ate good this month, they starve next month. That doesn't work. So what we've decided to do is we have a link on our YouTube channel, and it's called Buy Me a Coffee. It's basically a link where people can donate to buy you a coffee, per se. Basically a donation to your channel to help you do what you do and put out content. But I'm renaming it and I'm calling it Buy Me a Bone, because I would like to take any contributions that any animal lovers out there like us would feel kind enough to donate. I would like to take those donations and put it towards helping more animals, buying more food, and trying to give these animals a little glimmer of hope. Sorry, this is a rough one. We just want to do something more. And if anyone is willing to help, we really appreciate it. The animals really appreciate it. Sorry about that. On a brighter note, we first put the idea out there just a few days ago on one of Rebecca's personal social media accounts, just basically saying what we were doing. And we actually had somebody reach out, a local small business from halfway around the world, in a small town in eastern Canada on an island called Newfoundland. And they reached out, saw the stories that we had posted about these dogs that we were finding in horrible shape and these cats, and how we were trying to help them do more, but food was so expensive and we were on a tight budget and we didn't know how we were going to do it. And the lady is an animal lover like us, has her own pets, and has traveled to other countries and helped animals before the way we're doing. And as soon as she saw the story, she reached out on her own will and offered to pay for our entire food haul that day. That one donation alone has helped us feed over 20 animals this week. 20. Over 20 and counting. Some of them multiple times a day. One donation from one sweet lady in a small town in Newfoundland. So I look at it as there's billions of people in the world, and a good chunk of them are on YouTube. So if anyone sees this video and has a heart for animals like we do, and like the lady that gave us the donation does, I hope you guys reach out as well. I'm going to link this lady's tourism business, which is a locally owned, excellent business in a beautiful town in north central Newfoundland called Lumsden. I will put some of the credentials and the contact information for it here so you guys can see. And if anyone is ever in Eastern Canada, traveling around and seeing the sights, we definitely recommend you check her place out. Because for anyone that's willing to reach out to two random strangers halfway around the planet and offer to send them money to help animals, and she's never met us in her life, then that's a business that I'm happy to vouch for or support any day of the week. And it shows that there's some hope out there for these animals. It really is. So if you're the lady from the Lumsden Beach Company and you're watching this, our sincerest thank you from Rebecca and I. You don't know how much this has helped. Thank you. The link for Buy Me a Coffee, or Buy Me a Bone as I'm calling it, will be in the video description of this video and every other video we have. It will also be on the homepage of our Expat Escape YouTube channel right at the top. So, thanks again. We'll see you guys in the next one. Like and subscribe.